Okay, let's finish up our discussion question. So what kind of function name you will use to replace f to have better meaning? Because they will return, actually you passing the s usually is an array. So then they will return each element of the array divided by the total of each element of array times 100. So on the other hand, they calculate the percentage for each element, right? So we can kind of like percent something something, right? So that's why here go back to see this one. Okay, so originally function is f. So how about we just change the function and be more meaningful? So that will be percent for each element, right? So right, we will do like maybe percent of total. So you can see the same thing, you only passing an s. You can see the x should be the array. So we will return another array in percentage. So on the other hand, let's make an array first. So we do the only just 1, 2, 3, 4, we make an array. So we have, don't forget, you need to run your definition for your function. So then that's the array we create. So we pass in the array 1, 2, 3, 4. So then they will give you the percentage for the array. And also since we create the array first, right? So you can also just pass in the array function. So this one they create an array name. Okay, so either way you want to. So usually we want to put them in the name is we may access that in the future. But if you don't really need to access that array again, so we can just like make an array. So we have 1, 2, 13, 38. So then the same thing, you pass into the percent of total. They give you the percentage for each element. Okay, so that's our function example. Yeah, back to the function definition, you will see you have the diff and the return, the two keyword. So you give the function name, you pass in the argument. So you can see here we say the argument names. So on the other hand, they can pass in multiple arguments. So if you need to do that, we see the example. That's the example here. We have the function taking multiple arguments. Can we do that? Yes, we can do that. If you need, you can pass in multiple arguments. Then each argument, each variable name, you just separate by the comma. So the example we just say here, we can calculate the hypotenuse length of a right triangle. So the right triangle, we all know the hypotenuse equal to the square of two sides. The sum of square of two sides, then take the square root. So that's Pythagorean theorem. If x and y represent the side of the length of the right triangles, so then the hypotenuse h will be x squared plus y squared and take the square root. So that's we have, right? So if you have the hypotenuse function, you try to calculate the hypotenuse. So then we will return the hypotenuse value. But we need the length for the two sides. So that means I need the two argument passing. So that's why we have 1 and 2. So of course here the math equation using x and y. So you can just use x and y, or like we say, the argument, you can just, it's the same thing like the name is user defined. So either way, you want to do the side 1, side 2, that's okay too. Okay, so earlier we only show you, usually we have the function name, we just return the value, right? But sometimes your function may be more complicated. If you want to have multiple expression, right, you can do that in between the diff and the return. That's kind of the function body as well. Okay, so if you want, yeah, we can calculate the square of the two sides. Also remember, exponent we use the multiply. So then square root we using the multiply exponent 0.5. So if you want to have multiple expression, yeah, you can do that. Then we just return the hypotenuse, the variable you define here. So then if we have the rectangle with the side is 1 and 2, so then there will be the square root 1 plus 4 square root 5, right? So that will be 2.23 something. Or you have a special right triangle. If your side is 3 and 4, then the hypotenuse equal to 5. Okay. So this way, actually, we just want to show you, if you have more complicated function, you can have more expression in between the diff and return. They the same thing, those variable scale only inside the function. But this one, we can just make that as a return. So that's why you can see you multiply, you get the square for the two sides add together. Then using this one, just get the square root. So this one actually is fine too. So if we want to overwrite, so we run that, we overwrite that. So then if you have one triangle is 9 and 12, so then your hypotenuse is 15. So that's the example about the multiple argument function. Let's see two more example function. So then we will go to our last topic. We will show you another function in the table function that will help you to kind of manipulate more about your table information. But before that, I want to give you two examples. We will create two more functions. One function is take the year of the birth for a person. So then we calculate their age. Also, of course, we know your current age is your current year minus your birth year. So we define an age function, okay? So then you pass in the birth year, so age equal to, because this file we create is 2022. So that's change, right? We are 2024 minus the year, your birth year, right? So that's your age. So if someone born in 1942, definitely you can do use calculator to do that. But then, if we make the function, everyone can pass your birth year to get your current age. Okay, so usually we just return all the example we show you. We only return a numeric number. Can you return a function? Yes, you can. So that's why we do a function. Define is we passing the name of someone's name and someone's birth year. How about we just return a string to display how old they are for this year, right? Okay, so this function we call name and age. Okay, so we will pass in two arguments like we showed you earlier. We can do that. So after we do that, so then we return a string. So this string, you see, for example, the name, okay, someone is what kind of age. So this age, actually, you can call the age function you already defined, passing the year. Okay, so then this one we need to cast to the string. So that's why, because string and the string, they can concatenate together using the plus sign. So age function, when you pass in the year, this one they return as the integer number. So that's why we don't want to confuse the Python. So that's we make the data type is string. So then we concatenate this couple different string together. Then we will return to display someone's age. So earlier we had age is 1942. The person is Joe. So then don't forget to run your function definition. Then Joe is 82 years old. Okay. So this example, actually, we want to show you more. You can not only return a numerical data, you can return a string as well. Then you can concatenate string. The reason is we want to also show you the last topic is apply function. The purpose for the apply function is apply function actually is belong to the table function. When you have a table name, you can invoke the apply function. In this apply function, you pass in two arguments. The first argument is function name. What does that mean? That means sometimes we have the column value. We may want to do some calculation. So this calculation, we need to maybe apply some function to do repeat. We want to use this function to apply on all the value in that column. So what you can do is, we can call a function in a table. We can call a function you define. So then they will apply this function on every element in the column you specify. So then, because you apply the function to a column, so column is an array. So they will produce an array containing the output from that function after you passing the value for each element in the column. So that's why here you apply function, you will be invoked by the table name. You passing two arguments. The first argument is the function you want to apply. You passing by the function name. Then the second one is specify which column you want to pass. Work on. So of course you know that's the label. So usually the label is using the single quote to specify the label. It sounds wonderful, right? So then let's see the example. Yeah, since apply is working on the function, let's create, apply is the function work on the table. Let's create a table we call age. In this age function, so empty table with column. So we have two columns. The first column is the person with the name. So we have 4 persons' name. So you're passing the array. So then we have all their birth year. So then again we're passing the array with the associate birth year for each name. Okay, so then we see the age. The age look like this. So you see you have birth year. How about you want to know the age for each person? So you want to pass in the function, So earlier we already have the age function. So we want to pass in each value from the birth year, It's so easy to do that. You just need to, using the table name, invoke the apply function. So which function you want to pass in? Because we want to calculate using the using the age function, we pass in by the birth year. Okay, so then birth year is the column we want to pass in by. So so then they just apply the age to calculate everyone's age, return in a function. Okay, so here we show you that's the column you want to pass in, You can pass in the label, but usually we say we can pass in by the index. Let's try, can we do the index? Because that's the 0 index. So the birth year is index 1 column. And we see if that's still the same. Okay, good, that's the same. Okay. So just one thing again to show you, apply actually just make your life much easier. The kind of is what, every birth year you want to calculate on 1985 subtract by 2024. So before you have to do one by one to get that array. Okay, but now with the function, since you will do exactly the same action on every element for that column, you just call apply. Again, you can pass in an array that's the name, age for each person, So how about we display earlier? We have passing the name and the year. So here you define a function. Actually, you can call another function, including another function as well. So that's why here, if we want to display everyone's name with their year, so the same thing we apply for all the person individual in the table. So that's why you do the table name, invoke apply function. So this time that's called name and age function, but name and age. So that's why here go back to the apply function. You pass in the function name. So what you need to pass in actually, because if your function needs more than one argument, then you need to pass all the arguments on the column label. So this one we need both the name person name and birth year. So that's why we have 2 columns. Okay, so that you get that. Okay, so the video finished soon. I want you also think about this one. Can you also add this age and name into this table? Can you do that? Yeah, I just want to quickly show you. You also can add what we calculate the age into the table. And also here is the other one. I also make the note column to display the name and their age. Okay, so that's for our last video.